to be using technologies, the technologies have actually changed the whole concept of driving. It's the same thing. Let me give another example in the mobile phone. Mobile phone is just a portable telephone. But now what the mobile phone can do, gone beyond using technology for communication. Because of the technology, the mobile phone now have a lot of other options. So it's not just using the technology to support communications. The technology itself have provided various solutions and options that have enriched the business of communicating using that gadget, which we call a portable mobile phone. Bringing to the university setup. In the second quadrant, we are talking about e-library, using the technology to support e-library services of the university. In the third quadrant, we are not talking about e-library anymore. By virtue of having e-library, do we still use the same method of students going to the e-library, picking up a book to support learning on a particular subject, or the technology itself are not possible for us to do something more than that? In other words, for example, e-library, the resources linked to the student learning resource. So you see, there are a lot of examples that we can use to demonstrate how we can, at the supply and demand side, move processes both vertically and horizontally to elevate the whole learning experience of our students just because we have the technology. So it goes beyond using the technology to support teaching and learning. The fourth quadrant, going clockwise, is what I call the development and implementation of a robust, what brought us here will not take us there, rapid response strategy of the university to dynamically respond to and adapt to changes and challenges and opportunities within the higher education sector to bring about a transformation. This reinforces the point I made earlier, that the landscape of the technology to support teaching and learning is changing on a daily basis. You need some kind of a strategy as a university about how the university will be responding to, adapting, and addressing challenges, and of course, taking advantage of opportunities in order to drive in this rapid changing technological era. Well, the COVID came, another COVID may come. I'm not very much interested in that. I am saying that the technology itself is actually changing our business, and we need a strategy, a kind of a rapid response strategy in order to address this as we go through the years. We are asked to relate some of what we say to what we are doing in our universities. At the Accra Institute of Technology, we have done the visioning and the institutional development framework to guide us. We did that 4 years ago. In the second quarter, using the technology to support student life cycle, we are almost done. Only alumni and a few other things are left. And we have been doing that for the past 6 years. On the third quadrant of really going beyond using the technology to support educational delivery, in other words, scaling up, enhancing, using the technologies to really transform the way we do our business, for us is work in progress. As per the strategy, the rapid response strategy, we are still developing that. So all in all, Professor Moderator, the nutshell is that we have been on this road since 1980. And a lot have happened in our sector, both the delivering of our university services and the technology to support it. And we are moving way beyond just using technologies to support the teaching and learning, to actually using the technology opportunity itself to transform and change the way we do teaching and learning in our universities in order to enrich student experience. And I think colleagues need to be aware of that. I thank you for the time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Tijanu, for that very practical insight into what AIT is doing. We trust that we'll be able to share all of this. We now have Ms. Suwadu Bugoma. Ms. Suwadu Bugoma, thank you for speaking on behalf of the students. We are happy to have you now. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Professor Goski Alabi. And I would like first to thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity to be member of this great event and to have the opportunity also to speak and to share what has been done here in Burundi according to the response on COVID-19 related to education. I'm really, really thankful for this opportunity. Can I share my screen, please? I don't know if I'm allowed to share my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much again. So we know that, first of all, I would like first to introduce my country. I'm from the University of Burundi, and Burundi is a small country. We call it the heart of Africa. It has almost 12 million population, and 80% of them, they are employed in the agriculture sector. I mentioned this to show the importance of, or to show the distribution of the population according to activities that have been done here in Burundi. So when COVID-19 came, many countries have had different responses to COVID-19 impacts, either on education, on health, on other sectors. But regarding to this education sector, there was no big impact in Burundi, given that the primary school and secondary school did not close. They were still open. But the impact was seen in the high schools, especially universities, when programs were affected by the pandemic. And also, the big impact have been seen on the state academic mobilities, because with the COVID-19, there was expansion of these mobilities. And some of the universities, I cannot say all the universities, there were only some of the universities we tried to move from the face-to-face teaching to the online system, but really, it was not easy to deal with according to the situation which was there before COVID-19. And among those challenges, there was this one: poor internet services. There was also erratic power supply, and there was inadequacies in infrastructure. And also, there was also a issue of students, they didn't have capacities to deal with online management system. So this was among the issues that really show that there is a need, and a great need, to deal with COVID-19 issues. According to organizational resilience, we can show that these challenges will persist and are changing every day. Something about COVID-19 impact and maybe other challenges which will come. So we need an Afrocentric governance model for development and to improve preparedness and response capacities at national level. But we can say that we need like this change in institution, but we know that if this is not done on national level, it's still a problem. And when it's a national level, become here the idea of cooperation between several stakeholders. There was also a need of good resource allocation. When I say resource allocation, we know that I can say like there is a great importance which has been allocated to education, but with the COVID-19, it shows that we need this one, investment and good allocation of sources to education system. They also need of investment in capacity building. As we saw that the students themselves, they didn't have the capacity to deal with the e-learning system. And there is also a need in manipulation of ICT to support education. When I say like need of manipulation of ICT, I'm not only relating to students, also to teachers, to institutions, leaders. So there is a need of manipulation of ICT tools on all levels of education system. And as we know, everything cannot be possible if the government can collaborate with stakeholders and collaborate with all like person who can be interesting to make technology and to make ICT a tool to support education. So I would like just to end here, and I say again, thank for this opportunity that has given to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the wonderful student's perspective. We would now like to have Professor Sagbenong Eugene. Okay, I hope I got the name right. The floor is yours, Prof.
Yes, thank you very much.